Hi, hello, my name is Emilija, and I'm from Vilnius, from Lithuania, and my internship was in Washington, D.C. My host institution is a privately funded nonprofit organization called National Trust for Historic Preservation. And I work there in the Department of Historic Sites. People in this organization try to create connections between United States heritage and history, that people could understand their past, appreciate their ups and downs, and learn from their mistakes. And in this organization, my supervisor was Mark Stoner. He's the senior director of preservation architecture, and I really want to thank him for everything he have done all this summer for mentoring me, patience, warm welcoming, and accepting me into this organization. And during all my internship, I had the opportunity to see a wide variety of historic sites, such as Woodrow Wilson Presidential House, Woodlawn Plantation Main Residence, Frank Lloyd Wright's Pope Leahy House, Decatur House, Lyndhurst Complex, and President Lincoln Cottage. And also, while I was not working, I had my free time, so I explored a lot Washington, D.C., saw a lot of museums, and had a opportunity to see and briefly get familiar with New York sites and buildings. So one of my first tasks was to monitor roofing replacement works in Pope Leahy House, which is in Virginia near Washington, D.C. Fun fact that to preserve this building was moved 2 times. One time in 1965, this building was relocated because of the segment of Interstate 66 construction works, and the other in 1995, the house was moved only for 30 feet to better preserve the foundation and structural stability. And unlike before the move, the building is now surrounded, as you can see, with a lot of mature and tall trees. So the roof has worn down over time. And because of the poor condition of the roof and many leakages in it, the work began at the same time when I started the internship. So it was really nice to see and participate in the preparation works. Yeah, and I really remember that it was very rainy before my first trip and inspection. So when we arrived and climbed up on the roof, we could see where the puddles had accumulated. So we expected that there might be some serious damage under the roof covering. And when the roof covering was removed, the underlay we saw that underlay was damaged by rot. And it was also noted that the roof had bad slopes, which prevented the water from running off the roof. So the additional work had to be carried out in those areas. And after removing the old roofing from other areas, more extensive damage was identified and discovered. And in some places, the rafters were damaged and deteriorated. That's why we had to consultate with an engineer to have appropriate solutions how to deal with the damaged areas. And it's a pity because of the rainy summer and a lot of extra damages we found, the time frame of the roof replacement works were stretched out. So when I left, the work wasn't done, but I hope it will finish maybe in 1 month. Yeah. So the other The other task was to get to know the Chesterwood site and the red brick fence next to the studio building. Part of the wall is in very bad condition, so I had to prepare drawings for a contractor who could estimate the scope of the cost of preservation works. And since we use, in my home country, we use metric system, the work process was a bit slowly and challenging because I had to change everything into imperial system. But luckily I made it good drawings, and the communication with the contractor is going on. The other project was interior inspection and condition survey in Woodlawn Plantation main residence. At Woodlawn, I had to inspect the interior and record the damage and prepare a report about the condition and existing damage. So when I got to the site, I walked a lot. I took a lot of photos, marked up the plans, took notes, and I used everything in my report. And as I mentioned before, my main task was to check the condition of the interior. So I inspected wall and ceiling finishes, floor coverings, decorative and functional elements such as moldings, doors, windows, staircases, railings, shutters, roof. Also, I saw that there are visible roof construction, wall foundation, and other elements. So I inspected and evaluated everything I saw. And when I finished evaluate all the elements, it was easier for me to get the precise conclusion for interior condition. And yeah, this building is in a good condition. However, it will decline if the existing damages are not repaired. And that's why until the preservation works are carried out, I prepared some recommendations and plans that the manager must know what he needs to do and prevent appearance of the new damages. And my last, but not the smallest tasks was Linghurst site. I had to take a close look at the propagation shed and greenhouse service building. I had to document, measure the buildings in as much details as possible. The aim was to digitize all the documentation I gathered. That's why I prepared building first floor plans, roof construction and roof plans, sections, elevations, and details using a graphic automated design program. And after digitizing the building documentation, my supervisor and me identified two main tasks. And the first task was to prepare drawings of the existing condition and submit drawings to the HABS collection. You may ask, what is a HABS? HABS is the Historic American Building Survey. It's a division of the National Park Service, which is responsible for documenting the historic buildings, sites, structures, and objects in the United States by producing measured drawings, large format photographs, and other gathered information. As submission to HABS were midsummer, we were a bit late. We will do it next year. And all the collected my drawings, sketches, photographs will be sorted at the Library of Congress. And the second task was to prepare drawings for a contractor who could assess the scope of the work and provide a preliminary price for the preservation and restoration of their propagation shed. In order to provide the most detailed information possible, the roof structure, the ground and floor plans, elevation sections, and existing details were prepared. In order to preserve as much of existing parts of the building as possible, details of the treatment of the key areas have been provided too. To my knowledge, in the near future, the information will be sent to the contractor to review and have a proposal from them. So finally, I would like to thank World Heritage USA Committee and National Trust for Historic Preservation members for giving me this opportunity to have such an amazing and fantastic internship in this organization. During this 10 weeks, almost 10 weeks, I have so many things, met a lot of people who care about cultural heritage and who are passionate about preserving it and making history for the future generations. Yeah, and for the listeners and those who are still undecided, I would like you to wish you to take the plunge and move forward. Standing will do not nothing. It may seem at first that you are unprepared and afraid of unknown, but once you start moving, things will be brighter and easier. So thank you.